we can talk a little bit about the early.
And here they are.
Got a little too excited there. Okay, anyway, we have a very beautiful lady in the studio with us today who looks as good as the donuts. Vicky.
Okay.
We have Vicky Alahakon. Yes, I'm sorry. Legal advisor for Women's Aid Organization. Welcome, Vicky. And we have Mr. Francis Yu, Honorary Secretary of Pemalik. Welcome.
Well, before we start, maybe Francis, you can tell us what Pemalik stands for.
Well, Pemalik stands for Persatuan Mencegah Alienasi Keibupaan, which is the Association Against Parental Alienation.
That's very interesting. We shall be exploring what exactly parental alienation is all about. But just before that, what are the divorce statistics like in the country? We know they're on the rise, but what are they like?
How bad is it?
Over the last 12 years, accumulated figures show about 200,000 divorces in Malaysia.
One in how many marriages?
Well, we have actually marriages like, I would say 1 in 8 marriages end up in divorce today.
Okay.
1 in 8 marriages.
And what are the main factors these days that lead to
Divorces.
Yeah.
Maybe both of you can answer.
Today, with the stresses of in the workplace, you know, children, and today it's so easy to actually. Couples today feel that it's so easy to get a divorce.
Could it also be the change of mindset to people think that, well, marriage isn't exactly much of an institution anymore?
It's so easy to fall in love, to get married, but when you go to the proceedings of divorce, it's a totally different thing altogether.
What are your thoughts, Vicky, on the subject of divorce?
I personally think that couples, before they get married, they should actually look into the reasons why they want to get married. You know, that is so crucial.
Yep.
Because most of the times they get into it for all the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
And that is the cause for the rise in the
Right. Now,
breakup
Vicky,
marriages.
let's zoom in more on the children.
Yes.
Right. What are the effects of the children during the divorce, before the divorce, when there's a lot of bickering?
Yes.
Now, in your experience, tell us.
Actually, it's very sad because many a time when the couples, they realize that their marriage is breaking up, they are so concerned about their own reactions. I mean, they are so bitter towards each other. They forget the children. And this is why I personally feel that the message which we have to pass to the people is the victims are actually the children here because they are too young and they are unable to express their views, their hopes for their future, and nobody is listening to them. And I would personally like the families who are heading for divorces and also the judiciary and all the related parties to actually look into what we require to do for these children even before the parties head for the divorce. And this is what I am here for, because I really want the couples who are considering divorces to actually look into what their children need first before they actually decide on the other issues pertaining to the divorce. Things like maintenance, division of assets, those things are secondary.
Yes.
But what is more important is what are your plans for your children after the divorce?
Right.
Yes.
Now, we spoke briefly on this in the opening of this Hot Shot segment. It's a term that we're rather unfamiliar with. Maybe Francis can get the ball rolling on what parental alienation is all about.
The aliens are coming.
Oh,
Yeah.
parental is actually a situation where one parent alienates the other parent from one parent. So let's say a mother, he wants to keep custody of the child. He actually brainwash the child until to extent that he comes to hate the father. It likewise also it happens to the father. So all they want to do is to have custody of the child. They don't want the child, for one reason or other, to have anything to do with the other parent. So this is actually a situation called parental alienation.
It's very selfish, don't
Very
you think
selfish.
so? Unless there are exceptional cases. For example, you were mentioning like an example, if there were things like one of the parents is a drunkard, or we had some problems like that. But other than that, I think it's really, really very bad.
But
Well,
here we want to stress.
we do have a caller on the line. Let's take this caller because he's always full of views. Uncle Rama, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Rama.
Good morning. Hello?
Uncle Rama, hello.
All right, I think we may have lost him there.
Lost him.
Anyway, do call us back, Uncle Rama. You know our numbers. Moving right along, what is the family unit right now in this modern day and time? What is the family unit?
So we actually we believe in the family unit. Whatever happens between the two battling couple, we want to preserve the family unit, i.e. they should have joint responsibility for the upbringing of the child in terms of maintenance, finance, education, the lot. So today, because we have a system where we have to go through the family court and all that, there's no human element involved. The child will go before a judge and they ask you, hey, which do you prefer? I say, I prefer the mother or I prefer the father, and they take it from there. Sometimes they send it to a psychologist, and the psychologist will ask the same thing. They don't have very much time for the child. So the interest of the child is not being taken care of. Simple. So what me and Vicky has been actually talking about is proposing an early intervention system, whereby before a couple go through a divorce, they actually come before a panel of psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, and then we iron out. So who is going to be responsible for upbringing the child, the maintenance and everything? And then the recommendation from this is going to go for before a judge, and the judge will say, hey, this is what they have decided on, we will actually agree on it. So the child don't have to go through the trauma of going to an open court, and then multi affidavits for custody and everything. It's actually takes the whole divorce proceedings take up to 12 years.
Wow.
More damage would have been done by then, even to the child.
Exactly.
12 years.
So what we don't want to do is to have this system. So we have to actually push very hard for the government to actually implement it in place of the Divorce Act 1976.
Right, now we've got Uncle Rama back on the line. Good morning, Uncle Rama. How are you doing?
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Hi.
your views, sir.
My views, I see the present day children, they are not such affected by psychologically.
They are not.
For the simple reason, the children are from the whole morning to the whole day, they're left to the babysitter or some daycare centers.
Ah, okay.
So the parental relationship is already lost there itself. So the affection which the child can show to the parents is already lost.
All right.
And normally when you see a parent, when they take the child back out the evening back home also, they are there to prepare for themselves, they have to prepare for the children and everything. So the time, precious time spent with the children is lost.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Uncle
you.
Rama, for bringing that up.
You've got a point.
Vicky, maybe you'd like to respond
Actually,
to that.
what he says is true, because nowadays there's a tendency for working parents to actually transfer the upkeep of the kids to babysitters, to maids, and also to grandparents maybe. But whatever it is, whatever the scenario, you'll find that these children, even if they spend 1 hour or 2 hours quality time with their parents, when you actually ask these children, they still miss their parents,
Yes,
you know,
they
because
do
they
know.
know that that's your mom and dad,
Yes.
and they look forward to that. And
Exactly.
even just the little thing of having the father or the mother putting the child to bed, having a meal with the children, you know, things like that makes a world of a difference for these children. So irrespective of whether third parties actually bring up these children, they need their parents.
And it sparks off another problem, in fact.
Of course.
Well, about neglect. These
Neglect,
children will grow up
yes.
feeling neglected.
Neglected, yes.
Now, guys, based on current law, this is what we pulled off lawyerman.com.my. Custody lies with both parents in a marriage. Custody may be granted to only one in a divorce, and the other parent is given visitation rights.
That's right.
So what's wrong with this picture, and why are you trying to change this?
You see, this is what